Hey guys, let's talk about a naval base DLC. So with Gunrunning we had a military based land DLC. With Smugglers Run we took that concept to the sky. So will the next DLC be sea based? I've seen hundreds of comments really wanting an ocean based DLC, mainly for the aircraft carrier. So let's discuss that. Let's see what's possible with what is in the game already and talk about possible obstacles for this DLC as well. A fun fact to add to this, just like my GTA Online Battlegrounds video which Rockstar made happen 2 weeks after I released it, this is very much possible as well. I'm not saying that Rockstar listened to my ideas or even seen my video, cause that's most likely not the case. I'm saying I wouldn't make a video on something that I wouldn't think is possible. Also, I truly believe that this DLC is quite likely to come. Before we discuss this, please support the video by leaving a like, that way you will help my channel grow and get a discussion started. Of course, leave a like only if you enjoyed the video, and if you are new and really enjoy this sort of content, please subscribe for more. Okay, enough self-promotion, let's begin. So what is possible with a naval DLC? First of all, there's been an outcry to get the aircraft carrier into GTA Online. It's possible to get this vehicle in the game and make them spawn in like yachts do. The only thing I'd suggest is to get them a little bit further into the open ocean. Of course, this would be very lucrative for Rockstar cause these babies wouldn't be cheap. In the bottom of the carrier, we could find a place to store our boats. On top, a place for a brand new set of aircraft which came with Smugglers Run. As far as the carrier's customization goes, I'd say we could invest in sleeping quarters, an aircraft hangar upgrade, an onboard boat workshop and of course defenses. Just like on the yacht, it would be amazing to kit it out with anti-air guns and anti-boat weapons. The aircraft carrier would obviously be stationary with similar controls as the yacht. You can sail off to set locations and dock it. This would also make it easier to get closer to your objectives/missions. We all know driving a boat isn't the most exciting thing to do in GTA Online, so you'd have to get your aircraft carrier as close as possible to your objective, then deploy the mission. So the carrier for all of us to enjoy is a very big possibility. The entire model is in the game, although I would believe that if they were to implement it, they would make it slightly smaller. Cause having a fully fleshed out military carrier in the game doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a bunch of criminals to have. But at the same time, not a lot of things make sense in this game anymore. What does make sense is the amount of new vertical takeoff and landing aircraft and boost operated planes in Smugglers Run. It could very well be possible that Rockstar added those in so they are available on a smaller version of the carrier, one with a smaller runway. So the carrier would be the base of operations, like the bunker in the MOC in Gunrunning, like the hangar in Smugglers Run. So let's call this DLC Further Adventures in Oceans and Ponds. Cause yes, this operation would probably revolve around sourcing crates once more. I know, no one is a fan of that, but that's what GTA Online unfortunately became. I can't see Rockstar creating something new and refreshing into GTA Online anymore. Believe me, I'd really like to think big here, but we also gotta be realistic. So to summarize this, the Sea DLC could be us getting the aircraft carrier, we'd be getting a fleet of new boats and we'd be able to customize our boats and aircraft from the aircraft carrier. We'd conduct new sourcing missions from it, and the naval aspect and the air aspect would go hand in hand. So just to explain the aircraft real quick, because why would they play a part? As we all know, the ocean is quite big and quite tedious if you get stuck in it. The aircraft would be an important part as a means of transportation, basically a way to get to land quickly. Also, the boats are very vulnerable, so air escorts are a must for this. Sea and fleet have to work together fighting both NPCs, fleets and aircraft, as well as enemy players, aircraft and fleets. So what exactly do you do in this DLC? With the direction GTA Online and the later DLCs are going, we will look at sourcing missions. These missions would all take place in and on the ocean. Instead of flying a fleet of aircraft or driving your cars towards sourcing crates, you float towards them in a boat. Yes, I know that doesn't sound very exciting. What will make this interesting are the missions themselves. You'd have to do source missions to unlock the trade prices for the new vehicles. More on the vehicles later in this video. So that's where things could get interesting and where we might see a very cool DLC. Naval Combat has never been properly done before since we don't have anything as of now to do this properly. So there's 3 types of missions I could see happening. The first one is collecting crates by destroying an NPC controlled fleet. This could get really interesting since there will be multiple ways to go about this. Are you taking a larger, slow warship? Lots of armor, packs an enormous punch, but very exposed even to enemy players? Or are you taking smaller, more maneuverable boats? or even maybe a submarine. So that last thing will be mission number 2. Underwater battle. Take out the enemy submarine, which is very powerful. Think MOC powerful and hard to spot. You'd need to get your crew together to take this thing in a few smaller submarines, or you grab your large submarine to battle it. Again, more on the vehicles later in this video. The last sort of mission will be naval to land combat. Take out an establishment from your boat. Charge to the land to collect crates and take them back on board, back to your aircraft carrier. That will be a lot of fun as well. It requires teamwork. People can stay on the boat and take people out from the sea, whilst a small squad moves up to the island. After that, you would of course get the cell missions, where you and your friends work together in aircraft and boats to deliver goods to the sellers. This could turn into something amazing, especially since we'll see a lot of explosions, combat sequences, tactical maneuvers. The thing about these sort of cell missions, they'll be way more controlled than what we have in Smugglers Run. The planes feel really iffy on the handling part, especially if you're trying to protect a slower moving vehicle. That's where boats really could shine and could turn this thing into something amazing. The new vehicles. So there could be a bunch of new vehicles which we could classify as following. Large boats, so FACs, medium boats, small boats, and submarines. The aircraft carrier wouldn't be classified as a boat, it's more or less of a prop like the yacht is. For large boats, I'm not going all out and imply that there's going to be large warships in the game. The aircraft carrier itself pushes the boundaries. The only reason why Rockstar would add this is because it's already in the game. So for large boats, I'm thinking fast attack crafts. This is a special sort of boat that is larger than anything we've seen in GTA 5, but is not overkill. In real life, these are mostly designed to take out enemy ships, but on the carrier's boat yacht, you could customize these to fit with sea-to-land cannons and anti-air cannons. Anti-air cannons and anti-missile defense cannons would be important, and all of these are already in the game. Yes, even the anti-missile defense cannons. You can find these babies on the side of the aircraft carrier. So for large ships, it would be cool to have at least 2 versions of these very large vessels. They would primarily be used for cell missions and definitely need escort. The medium-sized ships would be ships as seen in the footage I got for you guys. I hope you enjoy, by the way. They are larger than dinghies and have multiple defenses and offensive guns that would be mainly used for quick assault and escort missions. Their weaponry would be anti-air missiles/guns, 50 caliber turrets or explosive turrets. Smaller size ships would be weaponized versions of the dinghies. These would be used for quick assault missions. Move in the cover of night, attack an enemy base, be quick, fast, in and out. That's all she said. Of course it would be weaponized as well, think machine guns mainly. These sort of ships would be amazing if they worked together with the medium-sized ships on these sort of missions. Last but not least, the submarine. If anything will become the MOC in this DLC, it's this thing. It's big, scary, moves off the radar towards its targets. It only shows up when it surfaces or fires one of its torpedo or cruiser missiles. It's perfect for taking out enemy fast attack crafts and handy for moving it close to your target/mission unnoticed. Be careful though. Your biggest enemies will be other submarines and anti-submarine torpedoes. Okay, so I believe I painted a pretty good picture of what this DLC could be and become, so let's talk about the actual possible hurdles of this concept. First of all, the ocean in GTA 5 is a very big place. It's also a very empty place. The main concern is what happens with all of these things you bought after the dust has settled, the hype is over. We have a massive fleet of awesome vehicles on an empty ocean. What further use would there be for the aircraft carrier? Would it become another yacht? Second hurdle is the physics. The waves in GTA 5 are rendered in a strange way. Just like physics when you fall off your bike, they are rendered on the client side. What it basically means is, when you and me play together, the waves will be in different places. That doesn't sound like a huge issue, but it can look strange on our side. Basically, boats bumping around on waves that aren't there. The last big issue I see is the spawn issue. What happens if you die on a mission? Do you spawn all the way on the shoreline? Like, how are you gonna get back? These are the main 3 issues I have with this DLC. So with this all being said, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Will a naval base DLC be next? Would you be excited for it? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a shit idea? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Thank you for watching and peace.